welcome to Real Estate Talk. Matter of fact, the second hour of our show tonight. Number one, I want to thank you, our listener, for joining us. And I say it, and I say it all the time. Real estate changes people's lives to the good. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Now, in the second hour, we got a dear friend of the show, a friend to you, our listener. I want to welcome to the studio Miss Heather Anderson. She's the big kahuna, the owner of Real Estate Concierge. How you doing, Heather?
I'm doing great, Willie. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. We chatted a little bit before this hour kicked off, and the one thing we really wanted to do is to bring our knowledge about real estate into a format where someone can make sense of it. Now, this show today is about the 3 steps to financial independence. Well, you can go get any show you want to on this radio station around the country about the 3 steps to independent finance or financial freedom.
Mm-hmm.
However, the reason you have to have independent financial freedom is to take advantage of real estate changes people's lives to the good. It's the number one asset that you can live while you're paying it off. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, to me, if you're renting out there, if you're a millennial, if you've just gotten out of college, this is an hour you want to stick around with, because I know that when I was a young person, which was not too long ago, right? If I had a dime in my pocket, it was burning a hole in it, right? And if I'd invested all those dimes in the real estate, fast forward, instead of, last year I was 25, and this year I'm 26, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I put that into real estate, I would have been way ahead of the game. So, Heather, Real Estate Concierge, you can go onto your website, owntx.com, and actually become a member. Tell me about that real quick.
Hey, no problem. And by the way, Willie, it's owntx.us.
.us.
Yes, yes. Crazy little end part on that.
.us. All right. I'll get it all straight in a minute.
Yeah. So, but what was your question?
I want to know, we've done a lot of shows together, and you tell people all the time, go on and become I think it's a member or something. You sign up where you get newsletters and that kind of stuff. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So we created this cool thing called Buyer Boot Camp, and so
that's what it is.
Yeah, it's a cool program. It's all automated and digital, but basically you just give us your email address and we'll sign you up for this Buyer Boot Camp, and it teaches you how to be a buyer. There's not real.
Heather, that thing, that's so important, because a lot of people don't know how to be a buyer.
Yeah.
Here's where they get their information from. The most dominant personality in their family, whether it be their dad, whether it be, the brother-in-law that came out of SMU Law School, or whatever the case may be, but that is a very good service you guys offer, and it's absolutely free. All you got to do is go to owntx.us.
That's right. Yes.
Okay. Tell me about 3 steps to financial freedom.
Okay. Now I know this is a topic that's vampant, like it's everywhere. Like I know Dave Ramsey talks about it, and Mark Cuban and Robert Kiyosaki, and pretty much any kind of major figure is always talking about financial freedom and how to be financially fit. But I like to continue to talk about it because sometimes those people are a little unattainable, right? Maybe we don't have $1 billion like Mark Cuban. Maybe we feel like that's not me. But like, I'm just a normal girl from Carrollton, Texas, a blue collar family girl that, grew up and wanted something better for my life. And so the only way I could figure out how to get ahead was to understand money and finance. And it doesn't have to be like crazy difficult. I mean, my spreadsheets that I make, they're simple spreadsheets. They're not super crazy Harvard level algorithmic nuts. It's just like addition and subtraction and multiplication. That's it. And it's just taking the thoughts and ideas out of your head, putting it on paper, and just deciding where you're at and where you want to go. It just involves a little bit of planning and a little bit of foresight. But anyway, so I just like to really talk about finance and just financial independence and freedom over and over and over again.
You know, until I met Heather, the only spreadsheet I knew how to do was on a big Chief tablet with number 2 pencil. So, yeah, you have opened my eyes a little bit. Real Estate Concierge, make sure you go to ontx.us. You'll be glad you did. Carry on, friend.
Okay, so like one of my favorite quotes is by Mark Twain, and it says like, the secret to getting ahead is getting started. And it's true, right? Like, how many times do you just have to get off the couch or like read the book or like open up the computer or like just analyze something, right? That's how I make a lot of my decisions. And it's not easy, right? It's like going to the gym. Like, we know what to do. We know what we need to like go to the gym and work out and eat right to lose weight, but it's hard to do. That's kind of how financial fitness is. Like, the concept's really easy. And so the things we're going to talk about today, they're easy. It's just maybe they're hard to do. So that's kind of how we're going to try to teach a little bit today and educate people. And if we can just make one improvement by the end of the show, that's a huge, huge win.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Carry on.
Okay, cool. So it's people, again, know the topic, they know the subject, but they don't really know where to begin and how to do it. So we kind of package this up in like 3 steps that myself and my business partner Jay, we really focus on. And hey, we're no big time here. We're not big shots, right? We're just people that started out in middle America, and we just kind of improved our life a little bit financially. And we're going to keep improving a little bit financially every month, every year, and keep working and chiseling away at that. So these are just those thoughts from a normal person to normal people, if that's who you are out there.
Awesome.
And I'm just going to break it down, okay? So, all right. So you have to think about it like this. Like, why invest in your future? You know, nobody else is going to do that for you. That's the only thing. You have to do this for yourself. So we've talked many times in the past about this 20, 30, 50 budget that we talk about, we teach about it. And the 20% stands for taking 20% of your take-home salary, that's your after-tax income, what you get on your paycheck, and then you're going to pay yourself first, okay? Pay yourself first, 20%. Most people pay their bills first, they pay their rent first, their mortgage, their obligations. That's a great, like, I guess, ingrained within us to pay obligations first. But when you start paying yourself first, it kind of changes your psychology, and it starts to help you believe you need to invest in yourself. And it's like the savings account, which is that 20%, paying yourself first. That's an investment in you. It's an investment in your future. And nobody really does that. It's kind of the opposite. I pay my bills first. I pay the fun stuff that I want to do first. And if there's any money left over, like, I'll save it. But what happens, Willie?
Yeah, I think so many people today get that paycheck, and that you're right, Heather. They don't have a psychological duty to themselves that they come first, because you know what? If you're not around, that paycheck won't arrive.
That's right. That's right.
So I
That's
get
right.
that, but I do think, on the other side, as someone listening to this program, that you get the paycheck in, and there's priorities that have to be paid.
Yes.
And I think we as individuals put ourselves last because you're trying to survive.
That's right. And a lot of people, unfortunately live, and I did for many years of my career, many years in my career, especially as an entrepreneur and as a 100% commissioned person. I lived like this a lot of times where I barely had enough money to cover everything. And so you're always like begging from, borrowing from Peter to pay Paul kind of thing. But with this 20% first thing, what this isn't saying, don't pay your bills. Like, let me be clear about that. What this is saying, it's a psychological adjustment in your life to say, I'm going to invest in me first, my biggest asset, right? Because Starbucks is not my biggest asset, right? The cable bill is not my biggest asset. Those things are not what matter in life, and they're not what really make a difference.
I agree.
So why do we go to work so hard every month to buy $4 coffee times 5 days a week times 4 weeks a month? All that adds up. So pay yourself first and psychologically change that. And then what that's going to do is it's going to make you buy less crap.
We don't want to be buying any crap up here in real
No,
estate.
no.
I got to go to break. If you're just joining us, number one, thank you. And number two, Real Estate Concierge is live on the air. 855-732-6700. Again, 855-732-6700. You can go to owntx.us. We'll tell you about the 3 ways, 3 steps to financial freedom. Stick around. We'll be back in a Willie Scotia.